Good morning. Tuesday, February 3rd. Not your lawyer. Here to talk to you about Savannah Guthrie's mom, Nancy, taken, it looks like forcibly, likely kidnapped out of her home in Arizona. This story is rapidly evolving as of right now. The latest we have is the Pima County Sheriff Nanos confirming that they found some blood inside of her home. Savannah Guthrie's mom, reportedly, though she's 84, is very together mentally, sharp as a tack, but has serious physical issues and needs medication that she could die without. So I want to explain to you today what crimes does it look like have been committed at this point, and what kind of penalties would those crimes carry. So what we know, what has been just publicly said, is that Mrs. Guthrie was reported missing after she didn't go to church on Sunday morning. She had been with family on Saturday, and it was very unexpected and surprising that she wasn't at church. It was quickly reported. They went, they searched, she was not there, and the alarm was raised because of her physical abilities. She literally wouldn't be able to walk off on her own. So what crimes have likely, it looks like, been committed at this point? And we don't know who these perpetrators are. We don't know anything about it, but she was moved without her cooperation, and the Sheriff Nanos was saying that blood was found, and they are hoping to have enough blood that they can DNA test it to get some more information. But first off, entering a residence that is occupied with the intent to commit a felony within, that is called a hot resburg. Some people call it a hot prowl. In the courts I practice at here in California, I don't hear that terminology, but we just say a hot resburg. The most serious and dangerous type of residential burglary. And here in California, it would be a serious and violent strike, would have to be served at 85% and up to 6 years in state prison. Arizona also has a 3 strikes law. Their own law is different, but also it would be an enhancement if the residence is occupied. Kind of a side note on burglary, the legal definition of burglary is entering with intent to commit a felony. So you don't need to intend to steal something. You don't need to intend to kidnap someone. You need to intend to commit a felony within, and it can be sort of presumed or sort of intuited what that felony might be, but there has to be some felony that was going to be committed within to make it a burglary. So clearly, Nancy was taken. Somebody went in, and it sounds like took her from her bed. So that is a hot resburg. Holding somebody against their will, holding them somewhere, not letting them leave, false imprisonment, kidnapping somebody. Kidnapping is one of the most serious charges that exist, both in California and in Arizona. In Arizona, there is a scale of sentencing ranges that go, and I'm not licensed in Arizona. I don't practice there, but I just know they have sentencing ranges and a scale for kidnapping based on if there's like a negotiation. So first off, if the person is kidnapped, but then they are released quickly. There's not an arrest that even takes place. They're released, they're unhurt, and it happens pre-arrest. That would be kind of the lowest level. Still very serious, but the lowest level. Then there would be if there's a negotiated release. So the person is released, they're unhurt, but it's negotiated. Then of course the highest level is if somebody is ultimately, they get out, but they are injured. And that is the highest level. And here in California, we have kidnapping, possibly for ransom or extortionary purposes. And if the person is harmed or injured, that can be a life without possibility of parole charge. We call it LWOP. Very, very serious. And injury doesn't need to be super grave, but just if the person is injured, bodily injury. And kidnapping for ransom or reward, and they're released, but nothing happens to them, is also still very, very serious. And I will say I haven't heard or seen anything in the news that there's been any type of demand or ransom or reason stated, but we don't know that. And that might be, I could see that would be something that wouldn't be shared with the public necessarily. Elder abuse. So in California, and Arizona also, to qualify as an elder, the person has to be over 65 years old. In California, there's enhancements if the person is over 70 years old. So if an elder abuse it can take many forms. It can be financial, it can be emotional abuse, it can be physical, it can be neglect. There is word that Nancy Guthrie is without needed medication. Withholding that medication from her certainly would be that neglect, and she's over 70 years of age. And if there's any type of assault, it does seem that blood was at the scene. I will just point out, we don't know whose blood that was, but if Nancy has injuries, there could be various types of assault. So clearly, with just what we know so far, a laundry list of crimes, it looks like, have been committed. I will also point out that in conferences from the family, they are asking for prayer. And I, as a side note, personal side note, as a cancer survivor, I'm 100% believer, and it's been proven to me that prayer works. Prayer is really powerful. So amidst all of this, honor their wishes and pray for them and with them and for them. So we all pray for Nancy's safe and unharmed return, and that whoever has done this decides to turn the course and turn the ship back. It's never too late to start over. So that's where we're at. I will come at you with more when we know more, and that's pretty much it. All right, not your lawyer.